The United Nations is an organization that includes almost all the world's countries or nations. It is called the UN for short. By the 21st century, the United Nations had more than 190 members. The main goal of the United Nations is world peace. The United Nations also works to reduce poverty and suffering and to improve people's lives in other ways. The official languages of the UN are Arabic, French, English, Chinese, Russian, and Spanish. Chinese language is a group of languages used by Chinese people in China as well. It forms a part of language called the Sino-Tibetan family of languages. Chinese includes many regional varieties. The main ones begin Mandarin, Wuyou, and Dimin. Chinese does not have an alphabet, so how to write down sound is a big problem at the beginning.
All the Chinese languages use tones. This means that they use high and low pitches to help make differences in meaning clear.
The Chinese language is like a big tree. The base of the tree started down in Soviet ago. It now has several main limbs.
In the Chinese language, there's no doubt that the Chinese language is the oldest written language in the world.
Chinese music is the art from organized and instrumental sounds that developed in China. It is one of the oldest and most highly developed of all known musical systems.
The Chinese zodiac is a repeating 12-year cycle of animal signs and based on the lunar calendar. In order, the zodiac animals are
rat, ox, tiger, rabbit, Dragon snake, horse, skull.
Monkey, rooster, dog, pig.
The Lunar New Year or Spring Festival makes a transition from one animal to the next.
Russia is the main language of Russia.
It's also spoken by many people in Ukraine, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, and Pakistan.
Kyrgyzstan, Moldova, Latvia, Lithuania, Turkmenistan, and Estonia.
Russian, like Southern Slavic languages, are Indo-European languages.
It uses the Cyrillic alphabet, whose letters, like those of Latin, came from Greek, but are different from that.
The other East Slavic languages are some of the South Slavic languages. Use the Cyrillic alphabet as well. It was singing from morning to night and reflect the 4 seasons and certificates religious lyric. Authentic folk music is primary vocal.
Russian is one of the 3 main languages, Slavic languages, and the others, Belarusian, and Ukrainian.
Казала в понеділок, підемо разом по лавінок. Я прийшов, тебе нема, підманула, підвела. Ти ж мене підманула, ти ж мене підвела. Ти ж мене молодого з уморозом звела.
Я ж тебе підманула, я ж тебе підвела. Я ж тебе молодого з уморозом звела. Я казала у вівторок, поцілую раз і 40. Ти прийшов, мені нема, підманула, підвела. Я ж тебе підманула, я ж тебе підвела. Я ж тебе молодого з уморозом звела.
Ти ж мене підманула, ти ж мене підвела. Ти ж мене молодого з уморозом звела. Ти казала у середу, підем разом по череду. Я прийшов, тебе нема, підманула, підвела. Ти ж мене підманула, ти ж мене підвела. Ти ж мене молодого з уморозом звела.
Я ж тебе підманула, я ж тебе підвела. Я ж тебе молодого з уморозом звела. Я казала у четвер, підем разом на спецерет. Ти прийшов, мені нема, підманула, підвела. Я ж тебе підманула, я ж тебе підвела. Я ж тебе молодого з уморозом звела.
Ти ж мене підманула, ти ж мене підвела. Ти ж мене молодого з уморозом звела. Ти казала у п'ятницю, підем разом по суниці. Я прийшов, тебе нема, підманула, підвела. Ти ж мене підманула, ти ж мене підвела. Ти ж мене молодого з уморозом звела.
Я ж тебе підманула, я ж тебе підвела. Я ж тебе молодого з уморозом звела. Я казала у суботу.
Arabic is a Semitic language like Hebrew and Aramaic.
Around 292 million people speak as their first language.
Many more people can also understand it as a second language.
The Arabic language has its own alphabet written from right to left like Hebrew. Since it was so widely spoken throughout the world, the language is one of the 6 official languages of the United Nations.
Many countries speak Arabic as an official language, but not all of them speak it the same way.
The language has many dialects or varieties such as Modern Standard Arabic, Egyptian Arabic, Gulf Arabic, Maghrebi Arabic, Levantine Arabic, and many others. Most of the countries use Arabic as an official language in the Middle East.
Arabic is also becoming a popular language to learn in the Western world, even though it's sometimes very hard to learn for native speakers of Indo-European languages.
Many other languages have borrowed words from Arabic because of its importance in history. Some English words can be traced from Arabic are sugar, cotton, magazine, algebra, alcohol, and emir. Arabic is an official language of these countries: Algeria, Chad, Egypt, Iraq, Jordan, Kuwait, Lebanon, Libya, Morocco, Oman, Palestine, Qatar, Western Sahara, Saudi Arabia, Somalia, Sudan, Syria. Syria, Tunisia, United Arab Emirates, Yemen.
It is also a natural language of Mali, Senegal,
Arab Christians has a strong tradition of enjoying Christmas carols during the festive period.
Layla Tamila, translated to mean Nativity Night. This traditional festive song is popular in the Levant region.
The original Aladdin. The tale of Aladdin is found in the Arabian Nights Tales, or 1001 Nights. This enchanting and magical collection of fairy tales is found in the Middle Eastern origin. The Arabian Nights stories were first introduced to Europe in a French translation by Antioch Galen in 1704. These fantastic and exotic stories rapidly gained popularity.
Aladdin is a 1992 American animated musical fantasy comedy film produced by Walt Disney Feature Animation and released by Walt Disney Pictures, becoming the highest grossing film of 1992.
Arabic coffee is a version of the brewed coffee of Coffea arabica beans. Most Arab countries throughout the Middle East have developed distinct methods for brewing and preparing coffee. Cardamom is an often added spice, but it can be alternatively be served plain or with sugar.
C-O-F-F-E-E, not tea, but coffee is for me. Coffee loca, coffee latte, coffee black. Are you broken? Coffee gives you what you lack. When I am feeling slow, time for a cup of joy. C-O-F-F-E-E, not tea, but coffee is for me.
most spoken Romance language in the world.
As of November 2015, over 360 million people in the world spoke Spanish as their first language. Spanish is used by many people in the world today, partly because Spain traveled and colonized many different parts of the world and created many new countries and governments.
The countries with Spanish as an official language are called Hispanic countries. Most of them are in the Americas that make up Latin America. They include the following:
in North America, Central America, and the Caribbean islands: Costa Rica, Cuba, the Dominican Republic, Honduras, Guatemala, Mexico.
Nicaragua, Panama, Puerto Rico, El Salvador.
In South America, Argentina, Bolivia, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, Guyana, Paraguay, Peru, Uruguay, Venezuela.
In other parts of the world, Philippines, Ecuador, Guinea.
La Cucaracha. This song has originated in Spanish, and some verses are said to go back to the Reconquista times, Middle Ages. The Mexican Revolution made it famous worldwide.
La cucaracha, alto salto y circo. La cucaracha, I love you to carry on. There's a box of life that chases. When we play, we must not race it. When our lunch we see it coming, we're supposed to send it running. La cucaracha, ya no puede caminar, porque no tiene, porque le falta dos rutitos para andar. Tú te llamas Carolina, yo me llamo Ernesto. Mucho gusto en el presente, escucha sigue por su gesto.
Macarena is a Spanish dance song by Latin pop duo Los Doloria, about a woman of the same name. The song uses a type of play rhythm appearing on the 1993 album Ni Me Gusta. It is an international hit on dance craze, and the latter album in 1996 and parts of 1997.
Besame Mucho is a glorious song written in 1940 by a Mexican songwriter, Consuelo Valenzuela. It is considered one of the most popular songs of the 20th century and of all times, as well as one of the most important hymns in the history of Latin music. It was also recognized in 1999 as the most recorded and covered song in Spanish of all time.
revient, mais j'hésite, ce jour est si loin. N'y croyons pas, disons-nous, toi et moi, qu'on se voit pour la dernière fois. Bésame, bésame mucho. Embrasse-moi, mon amour, que je puisse oublier le temps ensuite. Ma chanson n'aura plus qu'un seul mot.
English originates from northwest Germany and the Netherlands. English had its origins in Old High German, Old Norse, and Anglo-Norman. Modern English started being used in the 14th century, and the closest languages to English are Dutch and West Flemish. English is the language of the sky. All pilots must identify themselves in English during international flights. Likewise, all air traffic controllers at international airports must be able to communicate with the pilots in English.
English is spoken by 952 million people around the world. 339 million people speak English as a first language, and 603 million speak it as a second language. It is an official language in 67 countries and 27 non-sovereign countries. It is such as Hong Kong. That's why English is the best language to get new friends.